Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for another in our series of Story to Tell. Today we have with us Miss Sophia-Ann Williams, and she'll be sharing with us in this special feature of A Story to Tell. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your academic background so we can know who is Sophia-Ann Williams?
Okay, so I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I am presently principal for St Barnabas Early Childhood Development Centre, and we're located in Fletcher's.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am, I guess you could say, third or fourth generation teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Teaching my family
Mm-hmm.
go all the way back. In fact, I think I've been teaching since I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Because I would meet with other students while in primary school and
Mm-hmm.
help them with their studies after school.
Mm-hmm.
So teaching is something that I've loved.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew I was going to teach. I didn't know where
Mm-hmm.
or what area. So that has always been there.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of my background in education, that is my educational background. I left Jamaica to, well, I started here in, went to St. Hugh's High, that's high school. Before that, I went to Chatola Park Primary
Mm-hmm.
and went to basic school in this community as well, as my mother was a teacher here at St Barnabas. So went to St. Hugh's High, and then from there, I ended up leaving Jamaica to study overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, I was leaving to do architecture engineering because of the need that existed at the time. I wanted to come back and help my mother to rebuild the school, because at the time, the structure that is here now wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
The fire from in the early 80s had left only a little section that was built up, and they were trying to have school here. The place it needed a lot of help. So I left Jamaica with the intention that I would get my degree in architecture, engineering, and come back and help my mother and help this community to build this school. I came back a few times and volunteered, did my service here in terms of teaching.
Yes.
And went back and completed my studies. I didn't actually get to do architecture engineering initially. I had to do did my undergrad in the arts and minor in mathematics. So I did that for undergrad. I did a double bachelor's at Work and Ivy League University called Warren Wilson College. And then from there, I went to North Carolina State University, where I did my master's in architecture. Came back to Jamaica and did advanced diploma in education at Jamaica University. And also went on and did up to level 3 in early childhood at the Heart Institute, right? So during that, I've been back in Jamaica from 2012, and since then I've been here working, volunteering, doing my background in education, just preparing myself to be a teacher here.
All right, so give us a brief history of St. Barnabas Early Childhood Development Center, which we are at now, guys, just in case you never know.
All right, so this school was actually formed a year after our independence. So we got independence in 1962, and St. Barnabas was started by Reverend Swaby as an outreach from the Almontown St. Matthew's Church. And so in 1963, right? So they started here. The church was here. They would have church and they would have school. It was an elementary school, St. Barnabas Elementary at the time. We had Canon Weaver Garden, who came, and he was the chairman after Swaby left that office, and he carried it on for a time there, and it got changed from elementary school to St Barnabas Infant School. And then the fire happened in the early 80s, and everything was closed down. After that, my mother and my grandmother is one of those old school teachers as well. So she came on board with my mother, and both of them decided to get this school back. So they did everything from with the school register, getting everything that they need to do legally to get it under their leadership. And they did a lot of their type of fundraising. Both ladies were very good at sewing. So they would sew cushions, and they would go out and sell these and use that. They'd come back to the school, and they would literally take children off the streets, children from the square who were not going to school, and they would take them and bring them in and teach them. And basically what we have now is the legacy from that, that both of these ladies started it. So my mother's name is Offlin Alberts Palmer, and my grandmother's name is Joyce Thomas Alberts. And both of these ladies really put a lot into bringing the school to where it is right now.
Okay. Can you tell us more about your mother's vision for the children of the community?
She loved children, and initially her vision was she wanted to have a foster care from she was in her 20s, and that wasn't going to work. So she basically turned the school into that, a foster care for the community and neighboring communities. So she wanted all these communities to have education, a foundation. Just like you're building a building, you set a good foundation, because the first 6 years of anybody's life is the most important years of their life. It determines who you are, who you're going to be, what you're going to have open up for you. Because of how your brain is developed. So her thing is she wanted everybody in her community, every family, to have access to that as best as she could. And she would sacrifice everything for that to be done. She also wanted to help with guiding parents to foster proper parenting skills, because a lot of the persons who at the time were having children were young. They're not used, they don't know how to handle these children, and you wanted to teach them the proper way to raise the children. They probably had trauma growing up, and you wanted to eliminate that generational pattern out of this generation's life. So that's something that she wanted as well.
Okay, for the record, can you just tell us the address of the school, so for those who don't know?
85 to 87 Love Lane.
85 to 87 Love Lane, and that's in Fletcher's Land?
Fletcher's Land, Kingston.
All right, so it's in Love Lane, Fletcher's Land, Kingston. All right. So how do you feel about carrying on your mother's legacy, and what challenges have you faced in doing so?
All right, so I think it was Jackie Robinson that talked about having, well, I'll sum it up, the exact quote I don't have. But basically, your life has purpose and importance when it doesn't just impact you. And, that is something that she sold to me, or she and my grandmother, not just with words, but with their action, what they did, how they pushed to have this school become something. Right? So that is basically what I want to carry on with the legacy. I want to make sure that I can keep what she started, build on it, so that somebody else can take up from where I am, build on it and carry it. When anybody hear about this school, it's about how this school can impact a community, can change a community, can change lives. A school is a business, whether we want to consider that or not. But that is any business needs collateral. And for where the school is located. It's not in a city community, and for that you don't have the income level of some of the persons are not, it's not high, right? And their children are no less important than any other child. So they should get that. But the school in turn and the teachers here, myself included, have to deal with low pay, different challenges related to bills and everything else because the finance is not there.
Yes. So what made you decide to stay and continue your mother's work at the school, even though you could be earning more money in other jobs, probably overseas?
Right. So part of it is, as I said before, wanting to carry on that legacy. And the other one is I really feel this is where God has placed me. And when God does something in your life, a lot of time you have challenges because your growth comes out of that. So the major reason why I'm staying is because I believe God has a purpose for the skills that He has given me.
Yes.
To give to others. This generation, as many of them as He will allow me to give that to guide some of the teachers who come and teach here so that they can in turn, even if they leave from here, whichever school they go to, the idea of education and how you teach children, it is one that will have a positive impact.
Can you share some of the sacrifices you made by deciding to stay and work at the school?
Well, the major one is the financial sacrifice, and some friends as well, because I've had persons who have decided to disassociate with me because, well, you could do better. You could, you know,
have the ambition.
You know, have the ambition.
Yeah.
Why are you going to do this for these people?
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is that, you know, if I look back on just us with salvation, none of us don't deserve it, right? And that is basically how I see what I'm giving back and, you know, being here and serving. See it as a service.
As a service. All right. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. Can you tell us about your current medical situation and the urgency of the surgery that you need?
All right. So I have multiple fibroids, and not just, they're not small, they're very big, multiple large fibroids in my pelvis. And it's a lot, a whole lot. And what's happening is it's expanding my pelvis, expanding my womb to an extremely abnormal size, which is also affecting other organs inside my body, particularly my kidneys, both of them.
Yes.
So it is urgent because if you don't deal with some of those issues, the repercussions can be very fatal. I actually had a huge scare in February.
Yes.
Where I had to be hospitalized because of these same fibroids. They actually take up or use a lot of the blood that my other organs need to function. And so it's put me in a state where I had to get blood transfusion in order to still be here talking with you.
So you were hospitalized for how long?
I was hospitalized for a week, and then I had 2 weeks where I had to do recovery to then get back to where I am now. So
is it that they are expanding and taking up a lot of space and kind of pushing out the other organs in the space?
They're pushing out the organs out of the way. They're blocking some of them from functioning.
Yes.
Even sometimes eating
is
difficult because it might move and block where my stomach is. And so you eat, and then for hours the food just stays one place and doesn't move. For the kidneys, you know, going to the restroom and stuff like that, you might not be able to, and then at another time you're just going constantly.
Okay.
So that's an issue.
So how has the medical condition impacted your ability to continue your work in general?
It has made it very difficult
Mhm.
because the age group that I work with, they're a demanding bunch because of their age,
Mhm.
right? They're learning who they are, what to do, and there as a teacher, I'm there to facilitate this
Mhm.
development for them. And there are times it is hard
Mhm.
because if I have to be rushing to the restroom
Mhm.
um, frequently, then I have to get somebody to be in my class in order to be doing that. So there are times that there's an issue like
Mhm.
that. Or if not enough blood is in my body, then I am not strong enough.
Mhm.
Um, I, I guess it's some level of anemia,
Yeah.
right?
And
So
probably
that's
if it will pass out or so.
well, that is basically what happened where I ended up at the
That's
hospital.
passed out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because there wasn't enough blood to
Mhm.
keep everything flowing at
Looking
the
for.
time.
Mhm.
So basically, that's the difficulty, just being able to do the normal functions and meet the demands
Mhm.
of my clients,
Mhm.
right? Because they are my clients.
Yes.
And feel like, okay, I'm giving them 100% of
Mhm.
what I can.
All right. Can you tell us more about the cost of the surgery and the financial challenges you're experiencing getting the funding for the surgery?
All right. So it's approximately $1 million right now to
Mhm.
do the surgery.
Mhm.
That doesn't include the aftercare and the tests and all of that.
Mhm.
Uh, for early childhood in Jamaica, you don't really get paid a lot.
Mhm.
I have, as I listed out, lots of
Mhm.
qualifications. However, the pay doesn't match
Doesn't
that.
match up. Mhm.
No. So being able to set up my own healthcare and have my savings aside and
Mhm.
all of these type of things is not
Mhm.
possible. And also because I am the principal for the school, a lot of times whatever resources I do have,
Mhm.
because of the nature of the school and where it is and the
Mhm.
community, my resources
Mhm.
actually do get used
Yes.
to keep the school going.
So what about like health insurance? That wouldn't be a benefit that you get from, not in this case?
No,
No.
because we are not government.
Yes.
But all early childhood schools are considered private,
Private. Okay.
right? So there's a possibility to get subsidy, and I guess maybe others, but there's a process that you have to go through, and it just all depends on the availability or um, whatever
Mhm.
other criteria come in place.
All right. How you feel about the support, about the fundraising efforts that you're getting? I know one of your friends is setting up a GoFundMe account, and you can expound
Yeah.
on the support that you're getting financially so far.
Well, all right. So my friend overseas, Michelle, I've known her all through my doing my masters,
Mhm.
and she has been a very good friend then, and we stayed in touch even when I left the US. And she has decided that she's going to do her best to try and help me to get what I need so I can get back on track.
Yes.
Um, so far, I have a church family that's, I would say, family.
Mhm.
I wouldn't just say church
Mhm.
family. I take the church out and just say
Yeah, that's
family,
family.
right? Because a lot of persons have just jumped in and helped when I
Mhm.
went to the hospital. They were able to be there,
Mhm.
come and find out how I'm doing, what you need.
Mhm.
And they would just ask, but they would bring things. And even my recovery process,
Mhm.
somebody from church was able to open up, their home to say, listen, I will be there to
Mhm.
help you through this process until you are able to go back.
Mhm.
So I've gotten a lot of support
Mhm.
from my church.
But still more is needed.
More is needed.
Overall, to reach that goal of approximately $1 million and change
Right.
to do the surgery.
To do the surgery and to get back to the best me that can keep offering what God has put me to do for this school and this community.
All right. So, what message would you want to convey? You can look in the camera for this, but what message would you want to convey to those who are considering to donate to this cause?
Uh, well, I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances, and I do believe that God has given each of us a purpose. So if my purpose is this, and if your purpose is to assist me in terms of getting over this medical hurdle that I'm in, I do appreciate it. And you're doing it unto God, not just unto me.
Mhm. All right. So, we're wrapping up now. So, tell us, what are your hopes and aspirations for the future, both in terms of the school and for you personally?
Right. So I'll start with the school first.
Mhm.
Uh, so I really want to. My mother and I and my grandmother used to talk about different things that we'd want to have done for the school, and how we'd want to help the school, help the parents,
Mhm.
help this community to a different level. Uh, so I would really want to make that mark
Mhm.
done, improving different areas of the structure, improving the financial viability of the school so
Mhm.
that it can survive,
Mhm.
and being able to get and keep
Mhm.
um, teachers that can. We learn about Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Mhm.
where your basic needs
Mhm.
are covered, and as you go up, each of those needs are covered till you reach a state where you are giving because you see it as a purpose to give.
Yes.
And I would love to have teachers and workers here who are doing that, so that that would then impact our community
Mhm.
and spread to other communities,
Mhm.
right? Um, so I want the best for this school
Mhm.
to impact the children and their
And
families.
personally?
Personally, I am grateful for all the experience I've had here in teaching. I still hope to go back into architecture, probably even go back and do engineering to and be able to use that
Mhm.
to help this school, help even other schools that have been in this predicament.
Yes.
Because when I was studying architecture, they would ask me what you want to do, and I wanted to work with churches and nonprofit
Yeah.
organizations. And I consider a school like this to be under the nonprofit category.
Mhm.
And there are other basic schools like this
Mhm.
who need help.
Mhm.
So I would, and also teaching.
Mhm.
I'm not going to give up teaching. So, teaching architecture here or overseas if possible, I'd love to do it here.
Mhm.
So, and also continue with some of my other skills that have been neglected a little bit.
Mhm.
My synesthetic art, and I've done so many areas in art, sculpture, ceramics, all of these areas that I would love to have time to expand on it and offer it to the younger generation here who are not as exposed to
Mhm.
it.
Mhm. All right. Before we forget, the GoFundMe account that your friend is setting up, we'll be putting the link to that in the description below. So, guys, we're going to encourage you to click on that link and donate, both if you're in Jamaica and overseas. Just donate so that we can get the funds for Sophia and to do the surgery as soon as possible. All right. So, our final question to you, is there anything else you'd like to share about your story or your community or your current situation? Just your final words.
Uh, basically, I think with challenges, when you go through challenges, it helps you to find your place and find hope.
Uh-huh.
And I'm hoping that even while I'm going through my challenge, others who are probably going through situations worse or similar to mine
Uh-huh.
will be able to find hope
Uh-huh.
as needed.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that just takes us through different areas, and we just need to develop.
Uh-huh.
And I am grateful for everybody who has helped me from church. I didn't want to single out anybody, but
Don't call any names. You're gonna get yourself in
I'm gonna
trouble.
get myself in
Don't
trouble.
call any names.
But they're persons I am just grateful. I'm very grateful because, you know, the persons give with just pure, just pure giving, no no limits, no bias. And I am grateful for that. And it helps to remind me that I am not alone. Because my mother and my grandmother are not here. And there are times being here, their stomping ground, I do miss them a lot. And being in this situation and seeing the support that I've gotten has really helped to reassure me that I'm not alone and I have persons around me. And to my family, immediate blood family, they have also been doing some, go to my church as well. So I sort of link them in with the church ones, but just to point out that they have also been there. They're concerned. My brothers, my sisters, my uncles, my aunts, they've all been there. They want to know what's happening. And they reach out to me as well. So I'm just grateful for people that I have around me who care and who are willing to show that they care and support.
All right. So there you have it, Sophia-Ann Williams sharing her story about the school, St Barnabas Early Childhood Development Centre on Love Lane in Fletchersland, Kingston. She spoke about her surgery and her medical condition and how urgent the surgery is needed for the fibroids that you're saying that is pushing out all the other organs in this space and causing havoc. And also we mentioned the financial challenges she's having to reach that goal of around $1 million to do the surgery. Some help has started to come in, but much more is needed to reach that target. And your friend from college, Michelle, will be setting up that GoFundMe or has set it up already. So we'll just put the link in the description. And if we have any other local account for persons who want to just walk into a bank and give, we'll put that in the description below as well to facilitate the local persons. So there you have it, guys. A special feature for Story to Tell, encouraging all our viewers, friends and family to support, share this with others. Sophia-Ann needs your support. She's doing a good work in the community, and we just pray and hope that she will get the support needed, that she will overcome this hurdle, and that she'll be able to carry on her work. Until next time, keep safe.